Hey friends, so you're here for part 2. So here I'm going to teach you a few ways to paint an envelope or a card. In this case, this is just a card that's a front and back. It's not one that folds open. So I'm just scrubbing on some color with a brush, just kind of like a dry brush technique. And then I'm going to use this flip flop that I got on sale for 50 cents and I cut into 4 pieces. It makes a really cool print on the back, so you can see here. And then what I actually end up doing is setting my card to the side and also putting this design onto my envelope. That way the two kind of tie together as a set, since this card will go in this envelope. So here I'm using a Q-tip and I'm gonna make it match just a little bit but with a different color on the envelope. And the bottom of a glue stick, which I use all the time for a circle or a ring. And I'm going to repeat that same design on my card just so that they're both cohesive, which means they go together as a set. And then I'll use some bubble wrap. So almost everybody has bubble wrap on hand. These tiny mini bubble wraps are my favorite. And then I just kind of brush on the paint. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I kind of like that scattered, haphazard look. And you can see I'm going to print it here and then just a little bit on my card. And I'm keeping the colors relatively light so that I can go back on top to write my address on the envelope and card. Alright, idea number 2. This time I'm just using my paintbrush in a dabbing motion. And I'm just kind of switching up the colors as I go to just kind of create a painted loose look. And then what I'll do later is write on the back of this card, so this will kind of be the front of the card and then the letter would be on the back. So I'm just going to leave that like that, and then I'm going to move on to my envelope. And I'm going to do a different design on the envelope but with the same colors so that you still have that cohesive look to tie them together. And I'm not trying to make perfect lines. When I try to make stuff perfect, I feel like it stresses me out. So if I go with a loosey-goosey approach, I don't seem as stressed or apprehensive about it. Alright, in just a second I'm going to flip it over to the back and I'm going to add that same design to the top, just those stripes, just to tie it together. And then on the bottom I'm going to come back in with that dabbing technique so that again we have that cohesive nature of the card and the envelope kind of going together. So here you have quickly 2 designs. Now I have 2 sets, a card and an envelope, together for later.